and we'll set our grid to 16ths, and we'll just play a hat every note, every 16th. So now you hear this. Alright, it sounds very straight right now, doesn't it? That's where this little groove section comes into play down here. So we've got our two grooves in the groove pool, and you can see them here. So sad face is too much groove, smiley face is just right. So let's check out the too much groove. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, it's a little bit too much, you know. Funky groove, a little bit better. Alright, let's go back to putting some more samples in. So I chose a couple of, just to speed up the creation of this track, I've picked out a couple of samples. I made a kick and a snare especially for this this video tutorial. They're taken from my Future Loop sample pack. So we're going to drag these in. Nice and easy, one shot. Make sure we rename it to just kick so we don't get confused. And I got a snare here. And we'll rename that snare. It's good to rename things and make sure that everything is nicely named and colored and stuff, so that later on you don't get confused with what's what. I'm going to pitch this snare up a little bit just to make it sound a bit tighter, a bit faster. And we'll just go with like a simple, let's just actually, we don't actually need these notes to be this long, and so if you shorten them, it makes it easier to see in this view. So we want a snare on the 2 and 4, and a kick on the 1 and 3 for a simple kind of. Whoa, okay, that's way too fast. What am I talking about here? Let's back up a bit here. Yes, like this. Okay. Nope. Yeah, there. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. I'm already getting confused myself. So, let's just tighten this up a little bit. All right. So you can kind of hear how the groove on the hats kind of makes that sound a bit nicer. And just for comparison, let's turn the groove off. That's no good. And then too much groove. Yeah, like some people like that, but I prefer to go with this one. So I'm just going to delete this too much groove that we created in the groove pool. And yeah, now we have a little pattern going on here. I'm going to rename this channel Drum Meat, because I feel like this is the meat of the drums, and you'll see why later. This is our big kicks and snares, and I'm going to take away the hats for every time we have the kick and snare. So it's alright, cool. So what I'm going to do now is start layering up some percussion-y type stuff underneath that. So I'm just going to create a couple more channels and put them in a group. Just Control J to make that a group, and then call the group breaks. I don't know why I call it breaks. I guess you could call it percussion or whatever you like. And we're just going to set a color for it so it's nice and pretty. And now we're going to go into dragging in a couple of drum breaks that we have picked out here. So those of you who've heard some of my music before, I'm sure you realize that I sample lots of old funk records and whatever. So I've picked out a couple of drum breaks from some old funk records. Let's have a listen to them.